Hey, yo, what it do, crew? It's your boy Elijah X in the flesh, your favorite Coloradan with a noggin. Whoops. All right. So, just so we all are understood, this is indeed my first time live streaming in any capacity. And this show is something that's needed to be said and also just conveyed to people in general. Um, I would say this is somewhat going to be informal. Other words, also passionate, just a good informative look into what's happening in terms of our relationship with Izzy, you know, the I country that shan't be named. Oh, wait, I don't plan on being monetized. Israel. So, beginning with everything, we all know that we just went through the NDA Section 219 debacle in which they attempted to merge our military with the IDF. Now, given how much money we spend on defense and how many times that the Pentagon itself has failed an audit, I don't believe we should be trusting anything when it pertains to our military with another country. In fact, it's thoroughly against our Constitution. Ah, so the sad and odd part is that all the Republicans, minus one, save for your boy Thomas Massey, one of our favorite people ever, voted for it and in favor. I'm of the opinion that we're at a point in time where we need to begin taking action of sorts with the data centers popping up, the flock cameras going up by the hundreds on a daily basis. I'm the type of person I honestly am of the notion that we should be tarring and feathering the flock cameras just as a little just a little, symbology for the elite, the echelon class, the epi, the Jeffy epi class. But hey, that's just me. But the flock cameras in general are a grand issue that are lurking on our horizon, and we're going to have to do something about it one way or another. But since we began with that right there, we are also just going to jump straight into this bad boy like I started with in general, the NDA section 219. Let me grab this so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm not going to put that portion up just yet. Okay, so boom, boom. The National Defense Authorization Act, fiscal year of 2027. Section 219 is the one that truly pertains to us. We'll start somewhere a little bit down the page. Let's see, establishment. The Secretary of Defense shall designate an executive agent responsible for synchronizing cooperative efforts between the United States and Israel to expand and accelerate bilateral defense technology research, development, testing, evaluation, integration, and cooperation. Now, my big beef with this whole ordeal is how much money do we, the American taxpayer, feed into the military apparatus? Crazy amounts, buku bucks. It's mind-boggling how much we do spend on the military and we get nothing out of it. We don't do anything that's beneficial for the country. And now we're going to conduct these wars and do things on the behest of Israel. And that's not helpful. So let's see, number one in 219, it says identifying jointly developed or Israeli origin technologies with operational utility for potential integration into United States systems and programs of record. Number two, ensuring collaborative research initiatives involving government, private sector, and academic institutions in the United States. Wow. So obviously academic institutions, they're obviously saying they're going for a collegiate base. And if you paid any attention, and this is what Charlie was saying, college is a scam. It's the propaganda arm, and the education itself, system itself, is also indoctrination, getting everybody ready for the 9 to 5 and the worker lifestyle. And the way it's turning out, we might be working until we literally drop dead. Literally. Number three, facilitating the transition of technologies from research and development into procurement and acquisition pathways. Four, establishing frameworks for joint ventures, licensing agreements, and United States-based co-production and manufacturing partnerships with Israeli industry. Now, I'm not the wisest man in the room, damn near ever, but aren't we supposed to be like the top-notch leading brass in intelligence and or military capabilities? Why precisely do we believe it is necessary to join with a country the size of New Jersey, right, to have their intelligence and use their means, and also let them in on our top secret projects and work on them from the ground up? Why are we doing that? I digress. 5, coordinating with the relevant Department of Defense components, Peter Hegseth, including the Irregular Warfare Technical Support Directorate, Capability Development and Innovation Divisions, the Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering, the Defense Innovation Unit, the United States Israeli Operations Technology Working Group, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the Missile Defense. My goodness, dude. My goodness, bro. It's not even just like, it's not one thing. And when I say they, I obviously am referring to Israel. They want the cake and they want to eat that shit. So they think, man, oh my goodness, we might as well just, I'm going to skip down to here. In the section B, let's just look at this list. What's this say? Section B, cooperative efforts. The synchronized cooperative efforts under subsection A may be carried out through the following domains: counter unmanned systems, including aerial, maritime, and ground platforms. That makes me specifically think about something that Candace said with them utilizing drones to target Gazan children and Palestinians. And the wild part, even further than that, the system that they're utilizing is called the Gospel AI. For people who don't believe in Jesus Christ, they sure love to abuse the gospel. And I find it very disheartening and concerning that Israel is using that to outright just take people off the earth. Take people off the earth. All right, number 2, anti-tunneling and subterranean threats. So that's like underground missiles, missile and air defense technologies, artificial intelligence, quantum machine learning, and autonomous systems. Dude, all right, so it's more than it's more than information. It's more than information. They want tech. They want our tech in order to facilitate their objectives. And what do those objectives do for America other than weaken our socio and economic status, our country, and keep breaking down our walls? For people who talk about immigration and all this so fervently, how do you not believe that entertaining said wars and displacing such a high amount of people will not adversely impact our country? Especially if the same people are facilitating these moves across different continents. It's not beneficial in any manners. Let's get back to this here new policy. Directed energy and advanced sensing, cyber defense, electronic warfare, and digital resilience. Man, so they want way more than just our information. They want the whole kit and caboodle, in other words. Biotechnology, biomanufacturing, medical defense. God dang, bro. Like, what the fuck? We already have problems with pharma and all this shit, and they're just going to come over here and just shove their grubby little shekel fingers all up in us. All right, network integration, data fusion, and contested logistics, defense, industrial-based cooperation, manufacturing, and co-production. All right, so either way, one way or another, I'll tell you like this. That's fuck a bad look. That shit is asinine. We can't be giving our secret technology, our projects, and our coming like futuristic weaponry to Israel. Think about the discombobulator that Trump utilized in Venezuela. They already are dropping white phosphorus all over the Gazans and Palestinians. You think they won't use some type of auditory equipment if it'll immediately crowd control and push people out of the way? It'll just be able to, pin people where they want them. It'll make it so much easier for them to achieve their objectives if they can herd people in. And speaking of, that also just keeps bringing me back to the flock camera discussion, man. We give them access. They're going to be able, because those flock cameras are not protected. They have a QR code that you can scan on most of them, and you can connect to it, directly to it, and you can scan all the stuff that's on it. They have exposed USB-C ports on the back of their device, and you can tap them. Thankfully, we have some true patriots in the country. They call them blade runners. They out there chopping them things down. It's a beautiful thing. And I don't care what anybody says when it comes to, oh, it's only for your safety. Well, tell that to the girls that police officers are stalking and driving miles and following day to day. Why are they putting these flock cameras outside of gun ranges and gun stores and outside of children's schools? Right. So the people who have the power, who obviously know what's going on in the epi list, right? The people who fucking are being reported to through these cameras are setting them up where they can see your children, how they move, who they play with, what time of day they're available, what their routes are, and it's tracking them actively. It's doing it to all of us. And, us joining militaries is the worst idea I've heard in forever. And I'm going to throw something up too, because this is also important, and I think you guys should see it. So let's go with this here quick. America's closest ally. Burner phones. Y'all remember that golden pager that he gave Trump when he first came
Washington
to the White
is
House?
treating a close ally like a hostile power. The Pentagon's Defense Intelligence Agency has raised its counterintelligence threat assessment for Israel to critical, its highest possible designation, a classification typically reserved for America's most dangerous adversaries. The alert, reported by Al Jazeera and sourced to 2 current and 1 former U.S. official, signals that something has gone seriously wrong beneath the surface of one of Washington's most consequential alliances. At the heart of the concern, Israel is allegedly spying on the Trump administration itself. U.S. officials believe Israeli intelligence is actively attempting to penetrate the White House's internal deliberations.
I like how they say
specifically
actively
decisions
attempting.
around a potential escalation or diplomatic exit in the war with Iran. The timing is no accident. Trump and Netanyahu have been at open odds over what comes next in the region, and Israel, according to officials, wants to know exactly what Washington is planning before it does. The precautions already in place tell their own story. Senior U.S. officials traveling to Israel have long used burner phones, clean laptops, and have been warned to avoid sensitive conversations in hotel rooms. Standard protocol.
My thing is like, bro, if this is if this is already the case, right? It's an active and ongoing ordeal. Why would it be beneficial or wise of us to integrate our militaries with them.
Officials say, for visits to a country with what one Washington think tank expert called a hyper-aggressive intelligence service. Those measures now carry new urgency. The DIA's 7-page assessment, which includes a chart of specific incidents, suggests Israeli espionage has gone, in the words of officials, well beyond what is typical and expected, even between allies. Both Jerusalem and Washington are pushing back, hard. The Israeli embassy called the NBC report completely false, flatly denying that Israel conducts any intelligence operations against the United States. A White House official went further, saying the story is false and sourced to someone with, quote, no knowledge of what's going on. The Pentagon declined to comment entirely, but the denials land against a fraught backdrop.
Stupid.
Trump reportedly called Netanyahu crazy during a tense...
All right, man, I'm coming out of that. Coming out of it. Shut up. Oh, man. So, other words, we're fucking retarded. So, I mean, realistically, sorry, I'm trying to get this shit figured out. It is my first stream, so bear with me. But there's no benefit on our end for joining up with Israel. Now, moving forward, there's this right here. People keep saying this. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear, then those cameras don't mean nothing. This doesn't mean anything. There's a story that went viral. I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago about Texas. They've ordered these $4 million SUVs that are outright kitted up and tricked out. And I'm gonna pull something up to show you precisely what they do and why this is also ultimately an issue. So, boom, boom, boom. Let's get up on here. Bum, 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 bum. Nah, not that guy. It's this fella. All right. How Texas spent 4.5 million smackaroonies on 4 Chevy Tahoes. Tahoe roll down, blah, blah, blah. We're going to skip through that shit. Check out this cost list right here. And this part. Right. So maybe I'm crazy, or did I not just play that espionage? They have the highest level of espionage on America. The highest level. And it's documented. So the cost, 4 Falcon Net core systems, Delta 5G. Here, let me preface all this to say this. This system that they're running is effectively turning the SUVs into a 5G cellular tower. And it sends out waves, and anyone within its vicinity, it can pick your personal data out and download it onto their moving vehicle. They can harness all of your information as long as you're within the radius of these SUVs. Okay, Delta 5G perpetual licenses, portable backpack interception unit. Look at this fucking cost list, bro. Look at this shit. Each unit runs 6 base station instances simultaneously across 4 cellular generations. The flexible antenna is misspelled exactly like that in the purchase order. These niggas dropping 4.5 million of our fucking money and they can't even spell flexible, son. You see this? Come on now. Despicable. But where's the big part of it? So the software, the engineering and all that. FalconNet is what happens when cell site simulators go to the gym, learn to speak 5G and fit inside a backpack. This is where we're going with it. Made by an Israeli firm, Cognite, FalconNet uses software-defined radio to mimic cellular base stations and intercept connections between phones and nearby towers. In other words, it's middlemaning your signal. It's the middleman. This is the person that you call up to hit up your dealer back when we used to have to buy weed and you ain't know nobody but to connect. He's the middleman. They're middlemaning your information, your private and personal information through these vehicles just by driving by you. And this is owned by the Israeli firm Cognite. Now, who is Cognite? Interesting question. Let me flip on over here. Do the suspects operate alone? We provide answers. It's like, this is fucking so stupid, bro. I hate this. Cognite is a global leader in investigative analytics software that empowers a variety of government and other organizations with actionable intelligence for a safer world. That sounds all cool and well, but why the fuck are we relying on a New Jersey size country to provide this for? Are we not the United States of America? Right? This is why the Pentagon has been failing. Let's see, since 2018, they have failed precisely 8 audits. We have no idea where our taxpayer money has fucking gone. And all of these institutions and organizations are funded, donated to by Zionists, Israeli Zionists, Christian Zionists. The moniker Zionist is more political, it's not religious, but Israeli folks and the government tack on these religious tones in order to subvert our knowledge, just like the term Judeo-Christian. That used to mean a Jewish person who left Judaism and became a Christian, not a Christian who believes solely that the Old Testament and that, I'm not going to go too far in it because most people. All right, so back to Cognite. This is what's powering those $4.5 million SUVs that are scanning people and middlemaning their information between cellular towers, addressing broad investigative challenge, investigation speed. See, the thing about it, if you're not catching on, investigative challenges. Why are they taking our fucking information when we're just trying to get to fucking Popeyes in an investigative manner, utilizing our tax dollars to do so, and hoarding our information? This is why the data centers are going to be an extreme problem. They're going to start taking that information, and if Israel joins up with our military, they're going to do what they're doing in Palestine to the dissenters of their actions on our homeland. And you don't have to believe me, but it's just something to keep in your mind. They don't care about how we feel about what they're doing because they're not going to stop. They're going for their Greater Israel project, and they're trying to clear out the Middle East to become the overarching power in that sector. So this place, Cognite, market and technology leadership for 30 years, blah, blah, blah. So the thing that really bugs me with this is that it actually reminded me of something very familiar. And I'm going to take this off screen real quick. But so the Tyler Robinson case is happening, the Charlie Kirk assassination, right? And like I just said, Cognite, the Israeli-based software company, is what's in those $4.5 million SUVs. So that's not the only intelligence company that they're running. And this is important because, you know what? Instead of just telling you, I'm going to show you. Check it out. Check it out. Agent Brian Davis confirms that investigators use the Israeli company Celebrite to verify that the text exchange between Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs was authentic. Now, unless you're utterly removed from reality or just strictly retarded, the reason people don't like Candace Owens and the reason Zionists are attacking her is because she believes that Israel is directly in play when it comes to assassination of Charlie Kirk. Hell, fucking less than a couple of hours, Bibi Netanyahu was on the airwaves saying that Israel had not a thing to do with it. Not a thing. So you're telling me that Israel, the company, searched and took, information off the phone of Lance Twiggs, the furry boyfriend of Tyler Robinson. But guess what? The people who took Lance Twiggs' phone were Kash Patel's FBI agency. So even if our militaries aren't merged, guess what? Our enforcement agencies are already in their pocket. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, but let's play this first.
As part of the investigation, was a Cellbrite extraction performed on Mr. Twiggs' phone?
Yes, it was.
Did you personally review that extraction?
Yes, I have.
And according to that extraction, did Mr. Robinson and Mr. Twiggs exchange text messages on September 10th through 11th, 2025?
Yes, they did.
What time was that first text sent according to the Cellbrite extraction?
The first text was September 10th at 11 p.m.
As part of the investigation, was a Cellbrite extraction performed on Mr. Twiggs' phone?
Yes, it was.
Did you personally review that extraction?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I think it's
And according to that
it's just looping now. But you heard what he said. You seen what it said in that little caption right there. Now, the same way I just went to Cognite's website, because this is all, well, not all of it is publicly available, but you can at least look into these things, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go pull up Celebrite's website, their about page. Oh, wow, would you look at that? They even have a nice little video here. So this is the company that scanned and extracted data off of Tyler Robinson's phone, which I just told you, or Lance Twiggs' phone, his boyfriend, proposed boyfriend. They extracted stuff off his phone, and it was provided to them by the FBI. So let's see what this company actually does in their own words. The fact that they're talking about the future of policing, but they're using it here already is just really fucking annoying in my opinion. But I digress. Oh man. Bro, this shit makes me sick. Honestly, it makes me sick just thinking about it. You seen all that AI integration and all that shit. If we if we join our military with them and this is our active like base level, when they actually throw it into high gear, it'll be crazy work. Let's see what their mission is. Celebrate, blah blah blah. We aid organizations in mastering the complexities of legally sanctioned. Nah. All right, let's see. Fast facts. Oh, here we go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So Celebrate. This company is who extracted Lance's Twig's phone. That's ran by Israel. Look at what this says right here. So we don't even have to have the militaries actively merge. Like I said, our enforcement agencies, I guess a little bit of EU up in there too, a little EU, you know what I mean? But look, 2,700 North American state and local accounts. Israel is 50 of 50. Bro, 20 of the large, 20 of 20? Dude, okay. All right. I'm not tripping, right? Dude, so Section 219 got hammered down and all this good jazz and giggity giggity. But as you see, they're already in our shit. And in fact, you know what? We're going to close these two, and I'm going to show you this. Bong, bing, deadly exchange. Not only are we already utilizing a shit ton of Israeli software, intelligences, and whatnot through all of our enforcement agencies, federal, local, and state, as you just witnessed, we send officers, our departments to Israel to train with the IDF. Now, excuse the fuck out of me, but isn't America supposed to be the head honcho, top brass when it comes to enforcement agencies, officers, badass fucking agents, all of it? Why in the hell do we need to send our people to go train with the IDF, right? Feel me? We're doing that, and they're not even military personnel. So when you hear people say that ICE agents are being trained by the IDF, it's true. Atlanta, look into Cop City. Look into the words, quote unquote, Cop City. See what's happening there. Maybe I'll do an entire live on that at some point. And like I just said, Texas, the SUVs, Florida, there's anti-Semitism laws that can get you hemmed up just by mentioning something that, you know, they don't like. So this is from January 7th. You probably read that already. I'll drop down a little bit, drop down. Certain police practices and policies that all happen time and time again. When you look back and try to pull back on the thread to see where they got this from, it always come back to somebody went to Israel. Right. Right. So when you see our officers being overly aggressive, shooting people in the face, running people over, turning off their body cams in order to assault people, beating on women, that's not coming naturally. They are being trained to do this by the IDF. Let's go a little bit down here. Look at that. Police departments in New York, Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Atlanta, among others, have close ties with the Israeli forces. Oh, I'm sorry. That shit almost went over my head. Did you hear that? I mean, I've only been saying it, but bruh, those aren't small cities. Those are not small cities. Those are the biggest metropolitan areas around the country, and they're being trained by the Israeli forces that are actively targeting children, women, and men. They're trying to wipe people out, and for some reason, a lot of people are afraid to still call out the genocidal maniacs that they are. But no, that's why I started my podcast. And thank you for joining. For the couple people still rocking with me, I do see y'all in here, and I appreciate you for sure. All right, they're strong, and blah, 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 blah. The deadly exchange, blah, 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 blah. So here, let's move on from this. Boop. So I had notes prepped for the show, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So evidently everything just deleted itself. But as you can see, we have Israeli software and technology all through our stuff. It's already here. So even if we don't merge with their military, we already are quote unquote occupado for my Hispanic brethren. But let's look at this. So this right here really like grinds my gears. It makes me disgustingly sad. So with the flock cameras going up, I just showed you those $4.5 million SUVs utilizing Israeli tech. These data centers are funded by Zionists, fucking sycophants and fanatics. And I said they're putting them outside of schools. They're doing this, that, and the third. Look at what Israel. This is just one story. They do to children.
The child whose death struck me most on the West Bank was in a different situation. He was in the refugee camp of Al-Farah in the town of Tubas, a 14-year-old boy. He was shot by an Israeli military patrol as he was leaving his house. The patrol had been in the area, but at the time, there had been no fighting taking place. He was shot, badly injured, and was lying on the ground. He was surrounded by a company of Israeli soldiers. Over a period of 45 minutes, while this 14-year-old boy bled to death. Early in the period, he was able to move a little. He pushed his cap out to indicate that he was still alive and needed attention. A soldier kicked the cap back at him. On another occasion, he was crying out, and again the response was kicking towards him. Later in the period, a soldier came up and dropped a stone next to him, trying to frame this innocent child as a stone thrower, when there is no evidence whatsoever that the child was doing anything more than going out to play. As the mother sought to leave the house to go to the child to rescue him or attend to him, she was shot at by the Israeli military patrol. There was a Palestinian Red Cross ambulance nearby, and whenever the ambulance tried to approach the scene of the child lying there, a laser-targeted weapon was aimed at the driver of the ambulance so that the laser was hitting the driver in the middle of the head. And the driver, of course, withdrew in fear of being shot. For 45 minutes, this child bled to death while surrounded by Israeli soldiers who not only showed no concern for him whatsoever, not only did nothing themselves to assist the child, but actively prevented the child's mother from reaching him and the ambulance from assisting him.
Yeah. Yeah. So to be candid, if all right, so in order to do something like that in general, right, you have to be one sadistic, malign, utterly putrid demon to shoot a kid and watch him die, plant a fake weapon of assault fucking rock on him. Stone throwers, right? Just like we're spear chuckers, right? Fucking my goodness, dude. So, whatever. You guys, I'm trying to get you guys to realize that if we keep being complacent, we are thoroughly going to be looked at as complicit in the crimes that are being committed and engaged in by our government. Even if we don't like it, even if we don't subscribe to it, our silence feeds them and our money just fills their coffers to commit atrocities. And if you think they won't quell the dissension in our own country, you're out of your fucking mind. So, I love you guys. And I never mean to seem like I'm attacking anybody or that I want to be a dick, but I am passionate. I'm not emotional. I am passionate. I'm a rational minded person. And I'm telling you this, people who don't cherish life do not deserve to be in power. It's simple as that. And the Zionists, they don't, man, that's why Christian Zionism blows my mind. They don't even believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah. They think he's burning in hell in a pile of um crap and semen. I'm like, I really got to try to watch my words because you know, stuff is wonky. But man, we got to do something. I don't know what it is. In terms of section NDA or NDA section 219, there's something I do want to throw up on the screen for you guys. Whoops. There's something I want to throw up on the screen so you can sign it. Let's see where we at with it. So, strike section 219 from fiscal year 2027 NDAA. Now, it says there's like a couple of you in here, and I don't expect the world out of nobody. You don't have to do shit, to be honest. All right. But I would appreciate if you guys would sign this. I mean, if you don't want to speak up on it, if you don't want to address it, you don't want to create a platform, you don't want to start a live like me, there's just certain things I just can't keep ignoring and just straight up posting about. I have to actually say something. And hey, people tell me I've had the perfect voice for broadcasting and stuff my whole life. So here I am. But I'm going to post this in my comment section right now. Boom, boom, boom. So I post that. I would really like y'all to go sign it. I'll check on the number tomorrow. I just want to see like 4 signatures on it because we cannot allow Israel to merge with us. We can't. We cannot. If we do that, we'll lose our sovereignty. Then we'll lose our sanity. And a lot of people are going to lose their salvation. You feel me? Now, from here, man, I had the show lined up all nice and stuff, but you know, how you guys doing out there? Thank you so much, by the way, for kicking it with me. This is my first show, first live stream. Everything's a little bit tacky, bro. I still got to get my stuff situated, so y'all just get a generic background. But I don't anticipate on being monetized on YouTube because I honestly don't give a shit about all the things that they demonetize, shadow ban people for, blah blah blah. So the best thing that would be most helpful is if you could visit this link down at the bottom of the screen, buy me a coffee. You can leave a comment, and now evidently on buy me a coffee, you can leave video, you can leave text, gifts and stuff. So that's up to you. No hassle, no hurry, no rush. I'm not broke, okay? But yeah, you know, to close all this out, what I want to say is that we have been for decades getting shafted, but we've never been able to see this succinctly into the grift. I know people like buzzwords, so I throw them in here for y'all every once in a while. We've never been able to see this so clearly, and there's still so much we don't know, but there's still so much we haven't done. So there's a lot that we need to do. And if you missed most of this live stream, please go back. These Israeli software companies are already highly engaged in our offices, our enforcement offices, and have been for decades already. So military be damned. I do want you to sign that petition, please. It still matters. It still matters. But we have police departments that are trained by the IDF. We have people who go there on a monthly basis, sheriffs and everything, in order to learn directly from the people who are fucking dropping white phosphorus on people, shoot, there's a story that they were specifically running a game on targeting children by picking which limb that they were going to aim for that day. So they'd be like, oh, go for the right arm. Go for the right arm. Oh, can you do headshot? How far can we do headshot? Man, I never growing up thought it would be like this. And I honestly don't think many of you did either. So while we can utilize our voice and our First Amendment is still free, well, I guess it's not, because in certain places you say something about Israel, they just come to your door and swoop your ass up. While we're still free, we need to lock in. We need to do what we can do. And you know what? I'm willing to put myself up here. So if there's opinions you have, if there's thoughts, if there's events that you may have witnessed, anything, bro, all due respect, shoot it my way. Shoot it my way. Send it to the rested rock, all lowercase, theRestedRock@gmail.com. Because I'm not just doing this for me. I love you guys. We're countrymen, women, people. Fucking, it's not a two-party ordeal. These guys want us to believe we need to pick red or blue while they split the sea and get all of our green. Yeah, feel me? All right, guys. I'm rolling up close to 1 hour. This is my first show. And yeah, I just thank you for being here with me. I never do this much, at least in a public sense, but I'm a pray. Dear Heavenly Father, hallowed be thy name. I come to you in a time of turmoil and unrest, a time of confusion, in a time of misery, in a time of silence. We need you to lay your hand upon us and call upon your soldiers of Christ, those who believe fervently in the truth, to use their voice and spread the word to those who are willing to hear, and give them the information necessary to make sure that those who are in their circumference can live a fruitful and bountiful life, even as terror strikes around our circumference. Allow us to be the light, and allow us to guide those where they need to be, and be there for them when they need us most. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. I thank you guys so much. The little few that are here, that literally means everything. Even if it's just one person, that's one more than enough. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'll be back as soon as possible. I'm trying to figure out a schedule to work myself in after Baron Coleman on certain days, because he's relatively popular and no one's going to see this otherwise. They go from Coach Colin to Lionel to Candace Owens to Baron, and then they call it quits. So I got to find a time frame after that. But I'll be back, and I'm going to get this whole situation a little bit fresher some way, somehow, because I want to be here for you, and I have a voice that turns heads. So let's keep it rolling. Peace be with you. Go with God. And I'll catch y'all on the next one for sure. Thank you. Thank you.